Hi there, welcome to the workshop. This is ChessBase Workshop. My name is Steve Lopez. I'm your host for this thing. We talk about features of ChessBase and Fritz and show you how to make the magic work in weekly video tutorials. You'll remember last week we talked about what happens when your search booster file becomes corrupted. Sometimes you get some oddball search results. But what happens if another file gets corrupted? Now, back in the old days, you were in trouble. That was it. Your database was dead. It was doomed. It was time to just dump it in the recycle bin and start over. But ChessBase has a feature in it that will attempt to repair damaged databases, which is actually a pretty cool thing. And we're going to show you how to do that. But first, we need a database to work with. So we're going to have some bonus discussion in this particular video. We're going to show you how to create a database. We're going to show you how to copy games into a database. And then we're going to treat that database as though it had become corrupted and show you what to do if you think there's a problem with it. So let's create a database first. We'll go to the File menu, select New, and select Database. And what I'm going to do, let me try that again because Windows Vista keeps messing with me here. There we go. I've created a folder called Bases, and we're going to, the default is New Database down here at the bottom for file name. Now I've already determined that I want to work on the Caro-Kann exchange variation, so I'll do the logical thing and just use the ECO codes as the name of my file. B13 to B14, click Save, and now we have a new database up here, B13 to B14, which we can, we can tart it up a little bit by changing the way it looks. We'll give it a little pawn to show that it's an opening database. Now we got a little picture for it. Now we're going to search for games to put into that database. So we go to the mega database. That's what I'm going to use. And by the way, I'm using ChessBase 10. This stuff also works in ChessBase Lite, by the way. So if you're using the ChessBase Lite Premium, you'll be able to do all this stuff as well. Go to the mega database 2009. Let's right click on it and we'll select search. And I cheated. I actually did this search a little bit earlier, but we'll reset it. This is what it should look like when you go into the search mask. And what we're going to look for is a couple of ECO codes. We want B13 and B14 as our ECO codes. So we'll just type in B13 and B14, click OK, and here we go. And you see the program is searching, and it's doing it pretty fast down here in the corner. Flew right through it, and now we have a list of all the B13 and B14 games from our database. These are all Caro-Kann exchange variation games. In fact, if we go here and play through a couple of moves, we can see it happen right in front of our eyes. There we are. Now, the way to copy all of these games into another database, very simple. What you do is you highlight the first game, as I've already done. Right-click on it. You get a pop-up menu. Go to the Edit menu, and look what you've got here. You've got a command that says Select All. It's going to allow you to select all the games from that list. The keyboard shortcut, which is what I usually use, is Control-A. Hit at the same time. We'll do the same thing. So if you click Select All, boom, there's all of your games. They're all highlighted, ready to be copied. So you right-click on the first game again, go to Edit again, and select Copy. Looks like nothing happened, but what's happened here is all of these games have been selected to be copied to another database. So we go back down here at the bottom, we pull up our database window again, our database desktop. Here's our target database, B13 to B14. We have no games in it as yet. We're going to fix that deficiency here in a second by right-clicking, going to the Edit menu, and selecting Paste. And now we get confirmation, games 1 through 38,353, and we're going to copy all the stuff directly from one database into another, all the games that were found in that search. So we click OK, and it takes a couple minutes, but it's going to copy all these games over. Here we go. Does take a little while. You are copying data from point A to point B on your computer, which means that I can either sing a song or do a little tap dance or do something else to try to entertain you for about the next 2 minutes or so. But unfortunately, I'm not that talented, so we're just going to have to sit here and wait. It actually is going at a pretty fair clip. When you think about the amount of data that's getting copied, it's actually not too bad. I talk a lot about the old days before we had computers. It would take you weeks of research just to find those 38,000 games. And here we did it in just a few seconds. A few clicks of a mouse, boom, here they go. And they're all going into this database. A little over halfway done now. Of course, now it's going to mess with me. It's going to start stalling somewhere around 67% because we start getting into annotated games. And when annotated games have to have information copied into several files. So it does tend to slow up a little bit as you get farther and farther into a copy games routine like this. 4/5 of the way done now. Nine-tenths of the way done. We're almost there. And I didn't have to sing a note. That's pretty good for all of us, I think. And there we are. The progress bar goes away. B13, B14 is selected. And here's all the games that we had found earlier right there. So that shows you how to do a search, copy games from one database to another. Now, let's say that something has happened to this database that's become corrupted. And the way that you would know that was when you look at a game list, like down here at the bottom of the screen, you'd see a bunch of games that say data error instead of the names of the players. It would be totally messed up. You'd go to click on the game, you'd be unable to load it. All sorts of bad things have occurred. So what we're going to do is we're going to act as though this database has become corrupted. I don't want to break it. I could go in there and mess with the file and get all kinds of data errors. But we're going to act like there's some already here. We're just going to show you the process. If you right-click on that database icon and go down to Tools, and this is a handy way to get to a lot of the common functions that you're going to perform on a particular database. You right-click, go to Tools, and you will find Check Integrity. What that does is going to check a database, make sure, and it's going to look see if there's anything wrong with it, if there's problems with the files, and then offer to fix them for you if it finds any problems. So you right-click, go to Tools, Check Integrity, select it, correct errors if possible, yes. Now it's going to ask you if you've backed up the database. We have not done that. In fact, I plan to show you how to do that in the next ChessBase workshop. So we're doing this a little bit out of order. But what I want to show you right now is if you have a messed up database, how to try to fix it. Next week we'll talk about what you should have done in case these kind of problems pop up. You know, the old ounce of prevention being worth a pound of cure. So we'll just click yes. We'll say, yeah, we backed it up, sure, and let it rip. Start with game number. Just start with the first game to do the whole database. Click OK. And it's going to take a little while to do this. Once again, I could be singing or dancing or doing something here, but it's not going to work that way, unfortunately. This will run for a while, and when it's done, it will tell you if it has found any problems and ask you if you would like to correct those problems. You basically confirm that you would like to correct them, and it will try to fix it. If it doesn't fix it, you will get a message to that effect as well, that the errors were too severe that it could not fix the database, in which case you're out of luck. Hopefully you do have a backup from a previous time before the database got corrupted. Here we go, and we've gone through and it says 0 errors. Of course, we expected that. It's a brand new database, hasn't had time to get messed up yet. But as I said, if it had found errors, it would have prompted you as to whether or not you want ChessBase to try to fix them. You tell it go ahead, it'll try to fix them. But once in a while, you do wind up with a database that can't be fixed, in which case you're out of luck. You just delete the database and start from scratch because it's irretrievable. So what you need to do ahead of time, in case you have those kinds of problems, is you need to create backups of your databases and do that on a fairly regular basis. That's what we're going to show you in the next ChessBase workshop, how to make those backups in a nice organized, orderly way as well, so it's not kind of scattershot. So we'll look at that next week in ChessBase workshop. Until then, have fun.